Good morning for early arrivers. So I'm going to pop out my chat window. Okay, I have a chat window. Magic site. Alrighty, game should be starting sometime soonish. Alright, the official start time listed on the website is 7, but one of the organizers on GitHub had mentioned a few times that it's really 7:30, so I'm fuzzy on when exactly it's going to go live. So we're basically just going to kind of idle here for a little bit, waiting for things to kick off. Looks like Leela is going to be black this time around. There's also going to be a stream by somebody else, Hydrogen Pie. He's you can find him probably under Go. I think he's running this on some Titans or something, and he might be using the same network that they're using to play the game today. They're not using the standard Leela Zero network. They're using a 20 layer one. I think that's trained by someone in the community. But some people did ask me if I would do this again, so I figured, what the heck? We can give viewers options. Here, I'm going to listen to myself for a second, make sure my audio is okay. Here, I'm going to listen to myself for a second, make sure my audio is okay. Yep, seems to be. We'll mute that again. Okay, game window still shows no moves yet. At the moment, there isn't a English room. Oh, is there a move? There is a move. There is a move, ladies and gentlemen. Start the spinner, click opening, and there we go. Leela with her 4-3 opening, which she does a lot these days. Let me move my windows around a little bit so I can see things better. Okay, I don't need to see that window anymore. Get back to the game. White is over here with the 3-3 opening again. That's fine. It was so weird yesterday seeing Golaxy open with a double 3-3 opening. But, you know, I see somebody mention somewhere, I don't know if it was Reddit or Discord or where it was, but, you know, it might be like a trick to try to fool Leela Zero or something. But, I mean, it's not like Leela's using an opening book anyways. And so what happened last game was just eventually when Leela went to the corner, she just took the 4-4 point. So basically just, you know, played out almost exactly like normal, except that the 3-3 person had the tempo Sente play. You know, they were one move ahead instead of if the 3-3 was the invader. But who knows, maybe it made a difference. I am not skilled enough to recognize if Leela was losing because of the 3-3 opening. Alright, another 3-4 opening. We're doing a cross game. We'll notice how Leela does not approve of the 3-3 opening at all. Hey, in Bay, good morning. Adam, Johnson, everyone else, hello. I didn't take the time to go look at Hydrogen's stream since we're already live and I'm clicking things. I assume he's running Lizzie as well. I don't know. I'm just curious if he is. If somebody else happens to pull up both streams. Let me go peek real quick at the various chat rooms. Okay, I think I'm caught up on things. Large Knight. Which doesn't seem to be my version of Leela's favorite opening, but, you know, with enough playouts, maybe it would get there. It is right on line. Everything is basically 48, mid 48s, but this is where Leela Zero ends up going in the match. So my understanding is the match operators are using a 20 block network trained by somebody in the community. So its projections and, you know, policy network is basically going to be different than ours. So for the most part, I imagine Leela's going to do generally what we expect. Although, of course, their playout count is much higher. Plus, I think they are using a different network as far as I've heard. Hey, Raza, good morning. Yeah, it's sad to be like commentary by Roy7, which, you know, as close as I can get to commentary is just plugging in the moves and seeing what happens in the computer screen here. Let's go up here. I'm fuzzy on what actual client they're using. Somebody did compile for them because they're running off of Windows. Somebody did compile for them a current Next client. But then there's some bugs that needed to be or patched in there. Not really maybe bugs, but there's some changes that need to be patched for it to run with Lizzie. I doubt they're using Lizzie, though, on their end. They're probably using, I think somebody said Go, GUI, or they could be also be using Sabaki, so I'm not sure. But somebody did get a compilation done for them earlier today, so I'm sure if they're using the latest Next client with those bug fixes or which exact client they're using. Hopefully, a client that's not going to have any kind of technical bugs. What is ASMR? I don't know what that is. I'm going to refresh my screen, make sure, because we haven't had it move in a while. Nope. White is still thinking. There's some variations in the official game, but I'm not going to try and mess with those because what will happen is the browser will stop automatically updating. As far as I can tell from the past. I will refresh the lobby though and see if a English version happens to be up. It does not. So they might not have English commentary today. But if somebody sees that one does open at some point, if that Don Professional is going to comment again, let me know and I'll switch over to it. Then I can just kind of share his comments as he types anything in. Okay, I'm caught up on all the chat rooms. Jonathan, that is a giveaway, yes. A 3-3 opening is basically a 0 weight opening choice for Leela Zero. Let's refresh over here again. White apparently still thinking, unless the game is delayed on this website for some reason. Yeah, Diepin. Yesterday and today, it opened with double 3-3s both times. I've heard conflicting information from people about what exactly Galaxy is in terms of architecture, so, who knows? Some people say it's like Alpha Zero, but with some differences. Some people say it's not self-trained with reinforcement learning at all. It's just trained on human games. Um, so, who knows? The thing is, if the goal is just to make the strongest possible bot you can make, you would take human games, train up the strongest network you can, do the reinforcement learning stuff, and have a bunch of features and so on, liberty counts, ladder code, all that kind of stuff. Um, we have this large knight move right here. Spacebar. Okay, there we go. Pawn brings back on. And you would just take all that information and let the neural network try to figure it out as best it can with more information, to sort through. If a feature that humans think is important actually isn't important, the neural network will basically just learn its noise and ignore it. But, Leela Zero's goal is to kind of re-implement Alpha Zero pretty closely to the paper and not use any human information. So that's pretty much the thing. But, given the weights that we do have and given, all the open source code, somebody could take it, and this is where we thought we would go. Somebody can take it, make some changes with their own fork, and then just rerun the training setup or something with some features in there or whatever. But as far as I know, nobody's done a modified Leela Zero yet that uses like features or additional data. People have trained alternate networks of alternate sizes, but it is what it is. I'm going to peek at the other chat rooms real quick. Nothing on Discord. Nothing on OGS. And I'm back to the game window. White is thinking. White definitely using more time than Leela so far on the moves, it seems like. Alright, they do the two space connection there, hop. What do we want to call that? Large knight move off the corner. Yeah, dive pin, I don't put much weight into that. Alright, so the people in the chat room, just judging by their exclamation points, were surprised by this attachment. Now, looking at the numbers here, though, this move, and the primary move are all 49.0. So, I mean, in this move here, they're all basically equal in Leela's estimation. So we'll do the attachment. Yeah, Alex, I saw the exclamation points, but of course I can't read what they're actually saying. All right, game lobby, still no English game. That's fine. Probably not need to have myself distracted with all these other windows in the middle of the match. So let me close Reddit. Back to the game window. Here we go. The expected move. Okay. And now we wait. I guess I could mouse over here and show you guys the variations, but I think it updates them live as the variations change too, as it does more search. But actually, yeah, we have this move there. So Leela still saying the game's even. My only hesitation there is so Leela thinks this move is like 50.6%. Leela has always felt that black is at a disadvantage. So the first move of the game, generally, like those 3-4 openings, is generally around 48 point something, I think. Um, so, theoretically, being at 50 instead of 48 means that Leela thinks the game has gone slightly in its favor so far. But obviously, this early in the game, with what I presumably think is probably a reasonable opening for both players, um, it's too early to say the lead is ahead or losing or anything, I would think. But, a stronger player might know that there's something wrong in this bottom area. I don't know. Johnson, no, I left it at the default. I'm GPU limited, there's no question, so more threads isn't going to probably do anything to help. Oh, we did go up here, but we did not go here. We went here instead. That's interesting. But they do have hundreds of thousands more playouts than I do, and they're using a different network than I am. So we do what we can with what we have. The colors of the circles are just based on how many playouts the move has gotten. So if I highlight it, it'll show it. Like this has only gotten 22 playouts, so it's low enough it's not even showing the number. But it's basically, it's on the policy network, but it's really, really weak. So it got a few just a few visits, but the majority of the strength that Leela thinks where it should go is here. So that's where it gets most of the stuff. Now, like this one's higher than this one right now, so this one will get a few more visits now and then. And eventually, if this one went down some more, it would shift and start putting all the speed into the other one instead. It does seem to me that it's kind of slow to switch sometimes, which I don't really understand why, but like presumably in the search algorithm, if it's 50.2 versus 50.1, it should be putting all the search into the 50.21, but I don't know why it doesn't do that. Okay, we have black does that, white does that. Yeah, so the colors aren't based on the win percentages, they're based on the number of visits. And the search algorithm is based on putting the most visits into the ones that have the highest win rate, but there is some exploration in there as well. Okay, yeah, so if it has a strong prior probability, it's still going to go to the one that has a little bit lower win rate. Although eventually, it'll correct if the most visited move ends up, not looking good in the end. All right, I'm getting behind here. I got to pay more attention to the game. I thought there were sound effects when they played stones in the browser window, but there's not. So I don't know if there's a button I had hit the other day that accidentally turned the sounds off. Or maybe if I just turn my speakers up a little bit. Because if I could hear them click when they play, that would remind me to click on my screen. I'm going to check real quick the chat rooms. Okay, that's funny. Okay, I'm back to the game. Hey, Dillery, my pleasure. I saw a comment from him on the other chat room. All right, what am I missing? I was looking in chat rooms. I was away from my post without leave. Okay, here we go. We're doing the expected move. I'll refresh the screen to make sure I don't get lost. And we have a small extension. That's interesting. So that's not even as like a zero visit. This is a move Leela would never consider, really. It's just, yeah, Leela would never do that move. That doesn't mean it's a bad move. And in fact, if I go back 2 moves, so the expected win rate from Leela is 50 at this point, but then after this move, it's down to like 49 as the best move. So it thinks that was a decent move. It's just it wasn't a move it would have done itself. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we are hitting there. A little shoulder hit action. Alpha Zero style. Jonathan, it's also possible that if we're both using the same network, I'm using the most recent one off of the website, at least from last night. I didn't actually look this morning to see if any new networks promoted while I was sleeping. Let me go look real fast. No. So I think I am using that F323 network for my Leela. Again, I'm not using the same network that they're playing with. My understanding is that they're using a 20 block community network, not the official current 15 block network. All right, so there's that, as we thought. So the thing to keep in mind is that if you rotate the board around or you transpose the board, Leela will provide different results. Now, normally in most situations, the results will be very similar no matter how the board is rotated, but that's not always the case. So sometimes when you see a blunder, like after a snapback or a large dragon dies or something happens, sometimes what can be the cause of that is like, you know, a bunch of the rotations all knew what to do, but like one rotation didn't, and you just got unlucky because it only looks at one rotation per move. So each board state it thinks about, it only looks at one random rotation. It doesn't pull pull all 8 because that would take 8 times the GPU power. Now, what I find interesting is there are some neural network architectures that are designed for data sets that have rotations in them, and it'll handle all the rotations simultaneously. So it makes it generalize a little bit better. Plus, you know, it doesn't duplicate effort what it has to learn. It basically just has to learn the concept once, and it'll see the same thing no matter how you rotate the board. Nobody's tried that to my knowledge at all with Go. It's mostly been used in other data sets and other situations that are just general AI, you know, research. But I'm hoping at some point, maybe with Leela Zero or at least some other Go program, just to show how well it works or not. I'm hoping somebody will eventually do that. But that's a little beyond my skill set. I could try to learn it all, but that's just more effort, I think, than I want to put into things. All right, so I am missing a move. Things have gone terribly wrong. Nope, 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 just the one move here. Okay. That threw me off that we didn't go where my Leela thought we would. Okay, then we connect, or we do another shoulder thingy there. Refresh the window to be certain I'm up to date. I'm not. Click this, click this. Okay. Gonna keep an eye on this board like a hawk. Except they have multiple chat rooms, I keep checking. I got my Twitch chat window, and then I have a browser window for OGS chat, and then I have one for Discord chat. And I try to kind of jump around a little bit between all of them. Somebody in the commenting, I think they're saying that Leela Zero still considers the game to be about 50-50 right now, which is basically in line with what we're seeing with our network. Somebody mentions in a Discord that the 20-layer network that they're using actually isn't stronger than the official network. I have no idea if that's true or not. I know a bunch of tests have been ran on the website. I just don't recall if a test match was ever ran on one of the 20 block people. I could try to skim super fast, but there's so many networks on the website. Skimming. Yeah, so there was a 20. There was an epic failure back a while ago, but that's when we first moved to 15. So that's not even the 20 that people are talking about today. So I don't know that that's ever been officially tested, like through our testing thing that we can do on this on the community server. But okay, yeah. So black went where expected. Blink. Refresh that screen again. Actually, let me just highlight this for a minute. Let people see some stuffs. So that's the primary variation that Leela expects if white did go to this move, which is the primary move it thinks that white will take. So just a few more moves in the corner, and then off to the other corner. See, that's still the primary move. It is. Hello, Kurs. Good morning. Commentary is happening in a foreign language that I am unable to share with you this time. Although they did say Leela 0. I can tell you that. Alright, we still are up to date. White is still thinking. It's funny, I don't see the clocks in the browser window. Although maybe they're not using time controls after the thing we had yesterday that happened. I don't know. I mean, I assume they're using normal sort of game time controls, but I don't know. But in the game browser window on the actual live website, there's no time anywhere that I can see. So who knows what's up with that. Gonna refresh again, and we are still here, thinking away. Oh, I guess Leela now expects the side over here instead of the bottom move. And then immediately going into the top left corner. Well, sorry, Jonathan, I clicked on your picture because I just didn't want to get too distracted from things here, but I don't really recall exactly the situation back then. Was it the 2 move jump to the 51.5 extension in your picture? Was the game move? Let's refresh the window. Okay, we are still here. Yeah, in Bay. You can, yeah, and the translate prompt doesn't come up, just the way they're encoding the text, I guess. But you can take the website URL and post it into Google Translate's web page form, and then it will translate the majority of the page. Like you can see what the buttons mean and stuff. But I don't think it will translate the comments during the game. Although, I mean, you could try it, I guess. But yeah, you just take the website address and just paste it into Google Translate, and that's the starting point. Well, Johnson, the reason it's this website is because this is actually the site that's doing the event. At least that's my understanding. And so, like next weekend, Galaxy versus Kage, and I don't know if there's other stuff going on, or I don't know what the actual event, what all is in it. But all that is, I think, like hosted by, this place. I don't see Hydrogen. I just looked. I don't see him under the Go. Maybe he didn't set a game type that he's playing. Let's see if I can pull him up manually. Yeah, there he is. He just didn't set the game to Go, so it's harder to find. And I guess he's using Lizzie as well. I'm going to go suggest to him he set the game to Go. But I can't really keep that open because it'll use up my bandwidth. Alright, so I'm caught back up on everything window-wise. Alright, there's some chat messages I don't need to read that are off topic. Okay, we have a game move. Galaxy thought a really long time on this one. And it is one of the ones Leela sort of thought about, but wasn't what Leela thought was the best. So, boink. Get pondering back on, spacebar. Alright, so Leela still likes going to that corner, which was going to be the follow-up after the stuff on the right. Keeping in mind, my multi-year-old video card is really slow. It's nowhere. It's about 1/10 the speed of the GPU that Royal Zero uses on OGS. So I don't get a lot of playouts here. Okay, so actually we come over here, which is on our list, just not super high. Going to refresh that screen. Okay. Yeah, Aldari, sometimes when I click to my other tabs and I take the focus off of the Lizzie window, sometimes the pondering stops. Well, the best translation would be if, I don't know how to pronounce his three-letter version of his name, but if Stephen, or Stefan, again, I'm not sure how to pronounce that either, were to wake up and join us, and then he could actually just, translate the Chinese for us. But he is not, to my knowledge, awake yet. But if he gets on here at some point, I'll see if we can't lure him into the stream. Because that's how we roll. Okay, I'm checking the windows real quick. Refresh. We are still current with the game. I thought about sticking the live Chinese website next to Lizzie on my stream window. But the problem is I jump between tabs a lot to check the OGS and Discord chat rooms too. And I only have one monitor, so I can't like have all the stuff open at once. So I figured I would just leave Lizzie up there, and that's the safest thing to do. Well, as far as we can tell, White does not have the biggest decision here. You got two choices. Milk or chocolate milk. And I feel that that decision should be obvious. Okay, they went with milk instead of chocolate milk. That's very sad. It's an area where robots are inferior to humans, is choosing the proper beverage choice. Well, I don't see the time at all on the server page, so I don't know if they're even using time controls. Lose, yeah. If I put it into a different tab, I could probably add it as a source separate than my other browser that I'm flipping between pages. It seems like, now I don't know if this happens with OBS, when I use Skype and I'm sharing a window with somebody, it seems like if I'm tabbed into a different window, then it stops refreshing over Skype. Oop, our pondering turned off. Okay, I think we went there. Yes, we are back to current. But I don't know if that happens in OBS. Like if I were to minimize the Lizzie window or just put a window over top of it or something, if it would stop updating on the stream. Okay, cool, Luz. Thank you. I wonder if that's new, because I don't remember in the old OBS that there was a browser input choice. I'd eventually moved from the old OBS to OBS Studio, since that seemed to be the modern one that was officially supported these days, and has some support for like GPU streaming. Um, but when that happened, of course, I lost all my old settings, and I hadn't streamed for so long I even forgot about that. So it surprised me when I pulled it up yesterday. I'm like, oh, look, all my prior stuff I used to do is all gone. Okay, cool. Yeah, I never used any plugins or anything with the old OBS. I just had some generic stuff I did. I used to stream some SoulForge years ago, and then I occasionally streamed a few things now and then. I did stream a few Leela Zero games, or not Leela Zero, Leela games a while back. But just streaming just isn't something I do a lot of anymore. Maybe I'll get back into it at some point. It's kind of fun hanging out with people. Alright, checking my tabs. Oh, we have a move to here. Oh, okay, okay. I was thinking it was some kind of like better support for pulling out of a web browser. But what you're saying is it's an actual, you just put in like the website address, and then it pulls it in itself and renders it like internally, like its own little mini browser built into OBS. So once you have the source on the screen, you can go ahead and crop it or do whatever you need to do without trying to actually capture crap off of your web browser on your window somewhere. Okay, that's pretty slick, honestly. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for letting me know that. If I knew that in advance, maybe I would have gone ahead and set this up to show the whole Chinese thing in here, but I don't want to try and add it right now and reformat the layout of the screen and everything in the middle of the match. If I do more of these, though, during the week, I'll mess with it. Okay, so we did go here, and then we did a thing here. I didn't miss a move, did I? I don't think so. Okay. Leela still wants to go to that top left corner. Well, at least our Leela does. The 20 block network has not gone there yet. Leela thinks it has a slight edge. Okay, cool, Luz. Hey, we finally took the corner. By took the corner, I mean just took the corner move. Obviously, white will fight and will like split the corner area. Hey, Kudab, good morning. Leela is doing some exhibition matches this week against a new Chinese AI called Golaxy. It's playing one game a day for the next 7 days, and then Galaxy is playing Kaje next weekend. So it's streaming live on a Chinese server where the game is currently happening, and so I'm just relaying it here and putting the moves into Lizzie, so we can kind of see what Leela Zero thinks about the moves as we sort of just watch the game live. Okay, white goes where we thought. So black responds quickly there because of how Leela does time management. And then we have white jumping to someplace completely unexpected. Well, slightly. Oh, no, actually, it's now getting all the search. So that did pop up on our radar. It'll have to get up to like 8,000 to become the move we would take if we were actually running the game. But definitely this move has the highest win rate of anything we've looked at right now. So that's why it's getting all the visits. It just took a while. So the reason it wasn't being searched sooner is these must have been higher, but the more we searched them, the lower they went, until eventually this one was higher. And now that we're putting all the search into that one, this one was actually staying steady in the 47s. And this is actually where Galaxy went to. So we'll go ahead and click it. Leela has many options now. No Dan commentary, sorry. Hydrogen is also streaming. I don't know. I suggested in his chat room that he mark Go as the game. I don't know if he did or not. So he might. I don't know how easy it'd be to find him. His account name I think is Hydrogen PI. Mr. Martin, that's just how Monte Carlo tree search works. Now, part of the reason for that is because when you used to do rollouts, the way Monte Carlo was set up to do the tree search originally, it's because you're just using random playouts and you're taking averages. And so as you work it up the tree, your averages are, cumulative. And you always, every time you do a playout, except for the exploration factor, which is small, you're always putting your new playouts into the moves that you think are best at that instant. So presumably, your best move is the move that has the most visits. Now, you can discover something deep in the tree that's really bad, and that's a pet peeve of mine too, is that if you find like a refutation, and now that tree branch is terrible, you still have to wait for it to average down over a long number of visits before a different one will become the primary move. I actually wrote an alternate branch in Leela Zero with a different search algorithm to try to address that, but it just hasn't been optimized, so it's pretty slow. There are other search techniques that people use, but only with the actual Monte Carlo rollout part of tree search. But they don't use the algorithm that we're using and DeepMind uses in AlphaGo Zero and AlphaZero. I haven't really seen them used in Go, but we're using something called UTC. UCT, upper confidence with trees. It's about a 15-20 year old algorithm. There's a couple newer ones. There's one called KL UCT, which does it a little bit differently, and there's something called Thompson sampling, both of which, in general AI applications, and general what they call multi-arm bandit problems, are better than UCT. But I haven't seen anybody ever apply them to Go. They're usually applied in the theoretical research papers to what they call multi-armed bandit problems. And I've seen them applied to some other domains, just I haven't seen anybody apply them to Go, unfortunately. The problem, though, is that all that stuff is based on doing random rollouts. So, you do a random rollout and you say win or lose. And you do tons of those. And so you say, oh, well, 1,000 of them won and 500 of them lost. We don't do rollouts with like Leela 0 when we're using the neural network. So we look at a leaf, and instead of tons of rollouts, which you can apply those algorithms to, we just get a single estimate, 42% chance to win. But it's like, if one leaf is 42% and one leaf is 43%, okay, but we have no idea what the variance is. We don't know which one to explore more to get a better estimate on our win rate. So it's kind of an unknown research area that nobody's really published solutions to yet. So, anyways, too much information. Let me refresh the browser. Okay, we did attach here, as expected. Now, generally, if the network they're using is thinking similar on a position as we are, and it does the move that it thinks the opponent will do, then most of that search will still be in the tree and reused, so that it makes our next move, that much faster. Raza, I'm not certain on that. Bood in Discord is probably the one to ask. I think they are, but I can't say for certain. Like, I haven't seen that confirmed by somebody that isn't just some random person that I don't know who they are. Now, granted, some of these random people could be the people actually running the event, but I don't know. I don't know who they are. So, sometimes we get conflicting information. So, oh, we are going there. So we think that white's going to extend here. And then if we do, we got some stuff in the corner up here in the upper right. See the variations kind of evolving for the later moves. Leela seems pretty secure in wanting to go here to this 2-3-4, though, if white does go here. Yeah, in Bay, it's definitely possible. Now, DeepMind, I think it was, came up with something called, I'm not sure on the name of it. I haven't read the paper, but they actually did publish a thing about using neural networks to guide tree search, like directly learning how you should do the search using neural networks, not just saying we have a network that tells us a policy priors, or we have a network that gives us value estimates. They actually have the network learn how to direct the tree search directly. Maybe it's called net for net. I'm not sure, but I haven't read that paper. I don't know much of it, and I don't know if anybody's ever applied it to like Go or anything. But I mean, there is research being done on better tree search stuff. Yeah, there we go. MCTS nets. I thought it was DeepMind, but I could be wrong. Did I miss a black move? I did. We did go here, and then white responds up there. If we were still in the rollout phase of Go playing algorithms, I'd probably try to implement one of those different methods into Leela 0 myself. I've been playing around a little bit with the search stuff. I have one little patch in there that increases the win rate about 5%. It hasn't been merged yet, but it's still pretty good. Oh, is that a different page than the one I'm on? Let me see. Oh, okay, there's times and stuff. Okay, so the one I'm on isn't actually the right page. I was on something else. Okay, so I was not in the actual live game chat room. Oh, okay. So you know what? The other one has very little comments, so that must be like the pro commentator interface view. Whereas this lobby you just linked is the actual game room where all the people, all the viewers are chatting. Obviously in Chinese. Okay, cool. So you know what? I'm going to leave that one up because now I can hear the clicks when it's time for me to click. Like right here. Not a move at all in our search tree. So the 20 block network thinks it knows something that we don't. I'll keep them both open just in case something goes terribly wrong, but thank you very much for that link. Having some sound effects when they play stones is so helpful to not let me get too distracted. Well, our Leela thinks this move is bad. Their Leela, possibly with a stronger network, we don't know, thinks this move was good. It's up in the air who really is stronger. Presumably they think they're stronger. That's why they're using that network. Don't be fooled by that click sound. I refreshed the page. All right, so white actually doesn't go anywhere that we thought. It's going for the corner. So our win rate is up some now, so Leela apparently doesn't think this invasion was the way to go. Yeah, Luz, that's funny. It's funny how people get into all kind of conspiracy nonsense. Like, the games are fixed, or there's no connection error. They threw the game to make sure Galaxy wins every match. Or they're not even using Leela 0. It's like, I mean, come on. Alright, so black actually went here. And then white does go where we think. So time-wise, Leela's at about 12 minutes left, and Galaxy is at 16 minutes left. Die pin, something like that. I don't know the exact rules that they have for the setup, but yeah, they got some kind of thing in place. They're going to do some kind of handicapping of some sort. Raza, I have no idea. I have missed a move. Oh, we did the extension. So Boot confirms on Discord that they are using the next branch version of Leela, and they have Pondering turned on this time around. And there's some pull request. I don't know which offhand which one it is, and I want to go look in the middle of streaming. That they did go ahead and merge as well for a performance boost. The difference that winning makes is glory. You gotta have glory. It's just something I could think of to do with the bots that would make for entertaining streams. Because, I mean, I run the bots on OGS, but, I mean, just having the bot games appear on a stream maybe wouldn't be the most exciting thing. I did, about a year ago, set up an account on Twitch just for playing around with Leela stuff. And I had set it up to run games on CGOS. And the CGOS software lets you export the games to a viewer. So I set that up so that the games would display live in Go GUI. And then I set up Twitch to stream the Go GUI. So actually I did for about 2 or 3 days last year stream. It wasn't Leela Zero, I was doing it with basic Leela. But I had a 24-hour stream running on Twitch showing CGOS games that Leela was running. Which was sort of a fun little experiment. Alright, let's back up here. Okay, yeah, so attach Hane, is that the correct term? When you're putting a stone at the end of 2 stones over there? Lazy WDQ vocabulary coming out. Hopefully once we get into Byo-Yomi time, there's not going to be problems again. What happened yesterday was, because they were concerned about the time usage and tried because of a bug in the master client that's not in the next client, they went ahead and manually changed the time settings that they had in their Leela program. But when they did that, somehow it caused their connection program to misread the board, and so play a move that wasn't actually the move that Leela wanted to make. And so that weird move up the very top of the board, that wasn't Leela, didn't actually make that move. It was their interface software misread what to do, which was disappointing. Hopefully something like that won't happen today. I mean, even if Leela loses, it's still at least good to see it fight to the end, see some in-game moves, and, you know, better viewing experience than the game stopping halfway done. Okay, White's still making a shot at this corner. Okay, so Black actually opted for the lower one instead of the top one. My Leela thinks the top one is quite a bit better, but obviously their Leela disagrees. Now maybe it's just a matter of playouts, although as I do more playouts, I'm holding steady at 51.2, so it must just be the difference in the networks. Alright, so White connects that. Oh, okay, Johnson. I believe we're both using the same latest network. I mean, I don't think I imagined it. I'm pretty sure I downloaded it last night when I upgraded the bots on OGS, so I am using the most recent network. Okay, yeah, so it's just that their network is different than ours. Now, whether their network made the better move, I just happened to mention that in Discord that, I'm not strong enough to know. So maybe somebody in the chat, I'm assuming Golaxy isn't going in here if white can't live in the corner. But is white alive at this point if white goes to, say, S2? On the official page is S18 because they use reverse numbering in, I guess, on the Asian servers. Well, Mr. Martin, just because a game's pro level doesn't mean it's unapproachable by amateur players. It's just, to answer questions like which of those two moves, last move, should Leela have taken, you need to be stronger than me. That's all. I keep hoping Steven will wake up and come and join us on Skype. He's a 9 Dan amateur on OGS in places. He's definitely stronger than I am. I know he tends to get up super early out west, but he's not on OGS yet, unfortunately. Okay, let's attach down here. All right, so black wants to go into there. Yeah, see, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm thinking to myself, so if I were white, I would go to T6. but no, that's not the correct move. S2 is the correct move. My corner life and death skills are questionable. I know how to deal with like a bulky 5. I can read out life and death sometimes when I need to. But it comes to, okay, so they're actually going for this one up here first. But it just takes game experience to know certain patterns in the corner and what you need to do and what you don't. So Alexander, the pro commentators think that black should already quit. But I don't want black to quit because I want to keep watching. Some of those proverbs, I don't know, still apply in the days of Alpha Zero. Like you can see how modern science has embraced the 3-3 invasion. Raza, yeah, that's pretty funny. Well, the commentator, being me, is a double Dan Q. Sorry, double Q? DDQ? Double digit Q. I'm like, I was blanking on what does the D mean? Like, Dan's the only thing that came to my mind. Um, but what we're doing is we're relaying a game between a new AI called Golaxy. It's a strong Chinese AI that's playing Kaj next weekend. And it's playing Leela Zero, one game per day, all this week. So I'm relaying it off of the Chinese server here, and what I'm displaying here is a program called Lizzie, which is a front end to Leela Zero that gives you Leela Zero's win percentages and search tree information on the board as a heat map. So this way, as Leela is thinking about its move on the server, we can kind of get an idea of what it's thinking about and where it's looking to move to. Now, the current Leela Zero playing on the server is using a a member of the community trained a 20-layer network, which is presumably stronger than the 15-layer network that's the official current Leela Zero network. I'm using the official network to do this heat map with, so it's not going to predict the same as their moves. Now, the network that they're using is a publicly available network. You can download it. But, I just thought it might be interesting to compare, the official network versus their network, and we can see, when there's some differences in plays or when the moves all line up exactly the same. Well, yeah, Boot also mentioned that today seemed a lot better than yesterday. So maybe that, maybe it's the fact it's the 20 layer network. Yeah, Raza. Sandbagger confirmed. Yeah. I pretend to be 15Q, but really I'm 13Q. Out there hunting for the 13Qs. Alright. I heard a click, but I was in a window. Where'd we go? Where did we go? We went up here. Oh, my pondering is off. Okay, that's where we expect. Checking the chat rooms. I'm going to link my stream one more time on Discord in case any new people in Discord this morning don't know I'm streaming. Okay. Double check the game. We are current on the game. White clock is ticking. Okay. All is well. Or is it? Kadab, thank you. We'll call it a mid-Dan level for the AI knowledge. My degree is in computer science, and I've always been interested in AI from a long time ago when I was in college, but I haven't kept up with it too much. And so all my work with bots has mostly been on OGS, the interface to GTP. I wrote some of the code in there to make it more stable, and I operate the bots, and I watch a lot of bot stuff, and I read a lot of papers, but I've never actually written the bot from scratch. And some of the neural network stuff that Leela Zero uses is just way outside of my experience. Leela is feeling good about this game right now, people. We're at a 60% win chance. Now, granted, that can drop at any moment when an unexpected move comes up, but still, 58 is better than the 48 we started the game at. Okay, so we extend. White goes into here. That seems like a move. It's kind of like a double peep. But I would assume black can cope with that in some way that kills that stone, but I don't know. I don't know if these two stones up here are in danger at the moment. I guess if white goes like here and black connects, then white goes down and connects to this stone, and these two stones might die. Hey, now they're moving quick. What's happening here? This is crazy talk. Alright, so black does go down like we thought. White jumps out here, one of the moves we thought. And then that's it. We're caught up. Alright, here we are. I find it interesting that one move black is thinking about is throwing it up here. But no, it extends. White response should be pretty straightforward. Oh man, Leela really wants to throw it up here now. Given the expected variation there, I mean, I assume... Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we went up there. We got the expected result. I mean, I'm wondering if white's alive up here. So black is thinking it'll go here and white will connect. Black will go up to the top. If white tries to seal this in, you've basically got like a bulky 5 shape. Plus this corner thing. Yeah, black goes here. So white's response is not what Leela was expecting. So that's interesting. We think white should go here or here. But they think it should go there. Now Leela thought that was a much weaker move than we did. I mean, than Galaxy did, because Galaxy went to the corner there, or the left side. First line? Yeah, array is how they refer to the bot's moves, right? Because sometimes Galaxy is called star array. I don't know if that's the literal translation of the Chinese characters. Like fine art, you know, the Chinese characters translate like fine and art, and that's why people tend to call it fine art, even though that's maybe not the name it's referred to actually in China. So I think star array might be the literal Google Translate version of those two characters. So when they say the string of arrays, they're saying Galaxy's moves are very strange. Let's hope for stupid land and not high heaven, and that maybe Leela was going to actually have a good showing today. Which, if Galaxy looks bad during the week and then Kajay destroys it, I'll feel bad for them, sort of. Yeah, Galaxy. Let's also hope Leela doesn't have a Byo-Yomi problem like yesterday, please. No connection errors. Especially if Leela thinks it's winning. You gotta love machine translation with Chinese. It's just like... that has got to be such an open field of AI research. You know, it's impressive, like, machine translation of certain Western languages works so well. But some of the Asian languages is just so poor. But I imagine, you know, another 20 years of AI research and who knows. It'll translate like a fluent, Chinese translator. That's white moves, Kadab. The win rates that show are always for the player who's making the move. So 43% win rate is for white, meaning we're still at 67. White's spending a lot of time to think here. I'm going to leave that to the quality players in the chat room to tell us what the status of this corner fight is, because I'm not going there. Earlier, I thought white would have trouble living, but then some more moves were played, and so now I guess white does have the potential to connect through here, and I just don't know. All right, so white's not going where Leela thinks, because white knows better than we do. He's going to go there. Let's get pondering back on. So black's taking the same move it was going to take anyways. Okay, so Golaxy thinks its win rate is 65% right now. Our Leela thinks it's 57. I don't know what the 20 network thinks. That was a different sound effect. What caused that? I have no idea. All right. Oh, we captured a stone. Okay. I was like, what does that sound? Yeah, white goes there. And we're current. So, I mean, is black just sacrificing the stones in the corner now at this point? Or is pushing out here, is Tanukiing basically to try to stop it from ever getting a second eye? I don't know. Okay, well, they did a different move than we thought. It was our number 2 choice, so maybe with enough search, but it went up here. As a double-digit Q, it always throws me off when like you have a fight going on up here, and then you're just like, let's just leave. Now I don't know. Maybe this is co, and if white goes to a4, maybe we have a threat somewhere, so white can't just take the corner. I guess presumably that's the deal, and we can win a co-fight. Maybe Leela thinks that's what's happening. All right. Well, the only move on the board, it seems, really is this guy, and that's where Golaxy went. Okay, black goes in. White responds. All right, so we're going to see now, by the time this game ends, how this co-fight in the top left goes. I'm curious now about how that's going to happen. All right, we got black went where we thought. Obvious move for white. At least obvious to our Leela 0. Black there. Possibly the next move. So black here, white down here. Maybe to build hype for the match this weekend, or publicity for the new Go AI, or publicity for the server. It's not a server I had ever heard of before. I mean, it's a Chinese server. I'm not going to use it anyways. But the only ones I really know of are Taijim and Fox, right? Those are the two big Asian Eastern servers. I sometimes worry that saying like Asian servers, if that's like slightly condescending or insulting in some way. Like I'm lumping in like all the Japanese, Chinese, and Korean Go players as all like Asian players. I don't know. But maybe somebody in chat could let me know. I always forget between Taijim and Fox. Isn't one of those Korean and one of those is Chinese? And is there not a major Japanese Go server? I mean, you got three major countries, but you only got two major servers. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Okay, Fox is Chinese. I should be able to remember that. Because Chinese has the calendar with all the animals and stuff. Okay, IGS, Internet Go Server. That's a really old one, right? Like back when I was in college 20 years ago, there used to be IGS. But it just, you never really hear about IGS anymore. Okay, and then Taigim, that is not Fox, it would be Korea. Okay, I got it. And then W Baduk I've heard of. I don't know. People don't seem to mention it as much, at least wherever I would hear it mentioned. All right, black goes there. Okay, cool. I am right, though, aren't I, that IGS is one of the first Go servers from a long, long time ago? White, Leela did not like white going there. It thought that white should come out here. Now, black still wants to get out here. This is a reasonable move here. It wants to go, but this is more urgent. And we take it. Oh, so white is not going here with that Atari. White is going down here, which is not at all a move we thought. So again, are we being outthought by Golaxy? If somebody wants to try to keep translating the professional commentaries for us. All right, so that's interesting. We don't take the move we thought. It takes a different one. Oh, okay, no, they're similar. Yes, we are in Byoyomi. We have not crashed or had a connection error yet. Checking my chat messages. I guess I'm caught up everywhere. Not much happening in the chat rooms. Leela 0 is black, the color of victory. Golaxy is white, the color of raising the white flag in defeat. But I, your unbiased commentator, yeah, Raza, I probably should have. But hey, people ask. It means we're being social. Did I misplay that? I just misplayed that. Misclick. Okay. This is where I get nervous. I compare the two screens and make sure that my board looks like the real board. Yes, I appear to have all the stones. All right, black goes up here. I wonder what they mean by on the ground. If they're talking about in the center. Now Leela still is liking black in this game, but time's going to tell. Now that we're in Bayomi, I need to actually keep clicking things more quickly. Oh, that's a completely different move. So we think this is a bad move at 45 compared to this move at 60, but the 20-layer network they're using did go there. So now, you know, of course, now that we've taken the move, now we look at it and we're like, oh, now we're at 73% chance to win. So Leela now, after these two moves, thinks that we're winning better than we were before, even though this move it thought was terrible. The reason for that is it must not have seen White's response, or maybe it doesn't like White's response. It's hard to know without taking more time looking at the search tree, which we can't do live. Which one, Kudab? Nope, what did I do here? Okay, we're back. I thought I broke it. I would not want to have to type this whole game back in manually if Lizzie dies on me. Let's not have that happen, please. White again with the move that we're not expecting. We think it's worse. But the more black searches this move, it doesn't seem to be super happy here. Nah, okay, it's getting happier. 62. The urgency on this move is so high, there's not a single move that has a single visit. There's no circles anywhere. So White had this move planned out all along. It moved fast. Didn't use its time thinking at all. See, what is it with these numbers? Like, why is that happening? I wonder if that's some kind of a bug in Lizzie, because it's misbehaving on me. White goes here. Yeah, I don't know why it's stuck like that. I guess I can point at a stone. Alright, black captures that. White goes there. So it's funny that the board doesn't have... Oh, okay, I see the problem. Every space has a red circle, so when I'm pointing at it, I'm seeing the percentage of that circle. That's what it was. It's not an error. It's just that the policy network isn't certain enough on the moves that it does like to rule out the other ones as zeros. It basically says the whole board has a tiny percent chance of being right. I don't know if the interpretation there is that Leela's confused, or, you know, I don't know how to interpret that, but the neural network is not as confident. Let's say here. It's like it's really only got two moves, and there's a faint circle over here with a single visit. Yeah, our win rate has definitely dropped. So it could be a situation where Leela was assuming a life and death situation that was wrong, and so when White took an unexpected move, now there's a life and death more clear. And so now our win rate is down some. Usually when I review games on OGS, where black, you know, thought it was winning and then it has a big drop, it's usually like a life and death of a large group is normally when that happens. So I don't know, it's just something in here was misplayed. I don't want to do it in the middle of the live match, but if we went back a few moves, we could see, you know, which move exactly the win rate dropped on. And then I guess the question is, did the 20 network take a different move than we would have? But to analyze that takes, you know, a little bit more game skill than I have. The splitting attack got split. That doesn't sound good. Well, the game is turned around. Now, by turn around, it just could be that black was losing all along and just didn't know it. Because remember, Golaxy was saying 65% win chance earlier when we thought we had a high win chance. So maybe Golaxy just understood the board better than we did. And so really it was winning all along. Leela just never knew it. I mean, Leela thinks it's inched back up to about 50-50 now. Oops, I missed a move. Alright, yeah, so expected move followed by expected move. Even if there is a blind spot that's causing Leela to end up losing this game because of something to do with this middle fight where the win rate dropped, I think it's been a pretty interesting and fun game. Like, I thought this whole fight in the top left was kind of interesting, and then just whatever is happening in the middle, I'm still uncertain on how that all ends in the end. Because black on the right here is alive, right? Like, if he goes here, he's got 2 eyes already, doesn't he? I'm not confused about that. This is an eye and this is an eye. So is black groups... I mean, I assume black in the upper right can make life in this corner. Maybe. I'm assuming. Oops, let me go back. Okay, so black went actually here, which we don't like with our network. So we consider this move a mistake, the 20 network. So the 20 layers, it's seeing something that we don't, or of course maybe we're better, who knows. So we connect there. Oh, okay. Is it an eye now that we just did this connection to M12? I'm going to be back in 5 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Getting text messages. I think it's my uncle wants to go out to breakfast. Which we can't interrupt this exciting game for that. Alright, black's win rate keeps sliding down a little. So I wanted going back about 4 moves when the live game took that 43% move when we had a 50% move. I wonder, who actually preferred something. All right, the whole game is moving forward here. I'm trying to reply to my breakfast invitation. Okay, we did that. White did that. Black makes the 2 eyes. White goes out to there, not something Leela was looking at. Now Leela thinks we're back to 50%. Maybe because of this move here, Leela didn't even consider and didn't seem to think this move was important or good. I don't know. I'm losing track because... Let's go back a step. Okay, yeah, so the more we search, this move is looking weaker. Okay, my bad. We were just not searching long enough. Although white goes down here instead. Leela prefers this move up here. However, Golaxy knows better than us. Don't question the computer. Alright, at least that's a predictable move that we knew to make. Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty, I guess, on what's really going on with the board right now. But, you know, where Leela does seem to struggle most, and it's probably true of even humans, is when you get a really complex situation with a bunch of unsettled groups, and they're all interrelated, and then it's kind of just like, which dominoes falls first to destroy, like, the whole board. I mean, the fact that we're so late in the game and the win rate is jumping around between 40 and 60 doesn't fill me with confidence, but it's also not where Leela thinks that she's lost yet. You know, if we're down in the 30s or the 20s, then it might be over. Or if there's some clear large dragon that's dead that maybe Leela doesn't know is dead yet. Again, white does not go where we think. This was barely searched. But hey. Oh yeah, the whole board's filling up with little questionable things because it's just not liking the moves. Alright, so black goes there, white extends here. I think it's because of the first play urgency, right? Is that still based on the prior minus 0.2 or something like that? But what will happen is if our win rate gets too low, then those little tiny priors and all the other spaces right now that are blank will start to show as, hey, maybe we should look at that. So that's when all the circles become a little red everywhere. At least I think that's why that happens. Well, not what we thought white should do at all, again. And yet, you know, with search, it's... Well, we're hanging in here at 50% now. I mean, Leela thinks we're okay, but again, white does something unexpected over here. Now what do we do? Is it a good sign that Leela has multiple moves that it thinks are in the 40s? Does that mean we've come back a little bit in this fight? I don't know if the other stream is using the 20-layer network that they're playing the game with, or if they're using the live official network. So Leela really wanted to connect there, but they extend. Still doesn't take the move that Leela thinks it should. Make sure I didn't miss a move when I was distracted. No. We go there. Man, our Leela... Well, no, I mean, it thinks we're losing across the board at this point. Although now it finally takes this move up here, and not the one that we thought was important. So black goes down here. It's not looking good, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. I guess what could be fun to do with a stream, if I teamed up with somebody else, is to do like a game review with Lizzie. So, I mean, they review the game with their comments and stuff, but then we also have Lizzie showing what it thinks about things. Alright, this should just be basically mopping up until Leela resigns, right? Somebody would have to go back and really analyze this game, but figure out if some of the moves that it did different than us. Oh, a message popped up and the timers have stopped. I think we resigned. If black made a bad move in here somewhere that was different than what we thought with the official network, or maybe just both networks just simply got outplayed in the center. You know, I'm not sure. Oh, that's too bad. Yep, that was a good game. Sadly, because of the center fight going white's way, we'll never see the final resolution of the corner. But I guess black needed to win the center or get stronger somewhere else in order to be able to win the co-fight in the corner down the road. All right, I'll tell my uncle that I am ready for the breakfasts. All right, guys, I guess that's about it for the stream. The game is over. Sadly, we have lost game number 2. Now, this did finish at 8:47, so presumably, if I did more of these during the work week, I mean, if I quit right now and headed to the office, that'd be fine. I'm just worried that a game might run a lot longer, and then it'd be like 9:30, 10 a.m., and I really need to go into the office closer to like 9:30. So that's why I'm not sure I'm going to try to do these during the rest of the week. But we'll see. If this didn't die here, if we actually play this game out to the end, it would probably go another, what, 30, 45 minutes. So, yeah, the work week probably is going to be rough to stream. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you all later.